Mama couldn't give it to me, had to get it in shoes. Lord only knows how I got it in shoes. I was covered in dollars, now I'm dripping in jewels. A bitch played with my money, might have spit in my food. Bitches hating my guts, now they swear we was cool. Went from making tuna sandwiches to making the news. I started speaking my mind and tripping my views. Real bitch, only thing fake is the boobs. Getting money, go hard, motherfucking right. Never been a fraud in my motherfucking life. Get money, go hard, damn fucking right. Stun on these bitches out of motherfucking spite. Ain't no running to bore me, went for nothing to glory. I ain't telling y'all to do it, I'm just telling my story. I don't hang with these bitches cause these bitches be corny. And I got enough bras, y'all ain't gotta support me. I went from rag to riches, went from wig to lit.
Yo, man, it's your boy Jay Banner here for another epi for Cushion Coffee Podcast. And today, we have a special guest in the building. Paulina Roe from 103.5, The Fred Show.
The Fred Show.
Why, hey, real quick, you gotta lighten up on my man's Checkers shoes, all right? Lighten up on my man's Checkers Vans, all right?
Oh my God. We gotta give him some shit though. Like we gotta.
Come on, man. Just let my man be him, you know?
Those tight pants and those checkers. I love
I'm sorry,
you,
Fred. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring you up for her
we
to
all love
crack
you,
jokes
Fred.
on you. No.
That's amazing. No, he loves it, and I think that's the cool dynamic that we have, where like we can do that. You know what I mean? And we just roast each other, and you know everybody takes it, you know, just not too hard. Everyone just laughs and has a good time with it.
Learn to have a good conversation among friends and be humorous, you know?
Absolutely.
That's like the greatest part about like we lose that as humans, you know, because we so quick to jump to things when people are like just joking around or they're having a bad day with people having their own. And my wife showed me this video the other day, just straight getting to this. It's like you don't know what other people are going through as far as like until you get to experience what they've been through type thing. So
absolutely,
like a lot of people deal with a lot of other things that we don't know because they keep it so well hid that they don't know how to express it because of how people use that in an arsenal, use it against them or try to judge them for their feelings or showing their feelings and just to be that person to open up, you know?
Absolutely, man.
And so I feel like now, like so many people just so built this wall of like scared to communicate. Instead, they'll text you on a phone though right away, right? Or they'll send you a message.
Oh God, the how do you call it? The message warriors, whatever, keyboard warriors. That is so real. Yeah, they'll absolutely do that. But people, us humans, like we're good at putting up walls. You know what I mean? And I try not to judge those who have, or like you said, like just be judgmental. Period.
Yeah.
Because everybody's been through something. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like just self-awareness is so important and to reach that, you know, however it takes. And I had this conversation yesterday, actually. It's funny that we're talking about this. My fiance, he's trying to tell me something, and I'm like, no. Like, you claim you're self-aware, and that's wonderful, right? Like, you walk around, I'm self-aware, I'm this and that. But to me, it's like not everybody reaches that point, and we have to, in my opinion, give them grace.
Yeah.
And then once you get to that point, however that may be, whether it's shout-out therapy, whether it's through a spiritual practice, like I love my, you know, my little witchy shit that I do. Yeah. Like I love it. I love spirituality.
Whoa, what kind of witchy shit?
No, not like that. I'm a little manifestation queen.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like my meditation, like that really brings me back to center. So however it is that you know, what works for you, I think, you know, as long as it gets you to a place of self-awareness, a place of wanting to change, because they always say, right, like, you can't change nobody. They gotta want to change.
100%.
So
like,
I'm a believer.
Reprogramming yourself. I had this conversation with this individual yesterday. Like for me too. Like we were taught a certain way to be. Like growing up in the culture, whatever we were in our past life.
Yep.
What was around us, what was shown to us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no control over that, but the people that were raising us did. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotta like our parents got to take a lot of accountability. Oh shit! What happened? A lot of accountability for the things that they shown us or the things that they traumatized us with. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of family members been through certain things too that they're still holding on that happened to them back in their. So what happened to our parents? What they experienced that they still hold guilt and like, you know what I'm saying? Holding on to things, sorrows and everything else because they missed the opportunity or they never really looked back and found themselves to understand their true selves and their faults, you know?
So crazy you're bringing this up. So there's a show that I love, right? It's called The Chi.
Yeah.
And I was watching it yesterday.
I never watched it.
I think you'd like it. I don't know, especially if you're from Chicago. Like, hey, it's a good show. It's not just like about Chicago, but it's just the storyline is good, and it's obviously taking place here, so it's kind of nice. But the daughter, right? She's in therapy, and the therapist really revealed some heavy shit in this episode to her. Basically, having her, because the therapist can't really do anything. I want to be clear about that. Those people who want to try therapy, a therapist isn't gonna sit here and be conniving and try to like talk you into something. Like, they bring it out of you. Like, you're the one that's going to reveal things and say things and have these realizations. Therapist is just a tool. So they were talking, and basically the therapist said, like, it sounds like your mother was the first person that broke your heart. And I'm bawling my eyes out at this because I could relate so hard. And then she goes, maybe you want to bring your mom in for the next session, right? So she's hesitant, but she does it. Yeah. Mom comes in. Mom reveals to her a truth, right? The therapist is like, reveal a truth to her. Like, let's be honest. Let's be transparent and vulnerable. And she does. And she tells her, she goes, I just wasn't ready to be a mom. I didn't want to be married. Yeah. And mind you, too, now she's also with a woman. So there could be some sexuality underlining issues there, issues, but like as far as like her trying to figure, like you said, figure yourself out. So she said that she wanted to be a good daughter in her parents' eyes. She got married, right? She had a man, she got married, young, had 2 kids. She's like, I didn't want them. I didn't want to be married. I wanted to travel. I wanted to explore my sexuality. And I wanted to, what did she say the third thing was? Basically just live her life. Yeah. And my fiance was like taken aback by that, you know, like, how could you tell your kids that? And I get that. How can you tell your kids that, right? Like, when I have a kid, like, that is something I definitely will not feel. However, I know for a fucking fact, can I swear? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, for a fact, I'm like,
she got all pills.
I know. I was like, hold on. I was like, can I say that my mother and I, or let's just say like my mom had told me that, right? I'm just trying to like put myself in that scenario. Can I blame her for saying something like that? Because my mom and I are in very 2 different positions when it comes to like when we had kids, like when we got married, like you said, exactly what you said. And that's how I was trying to explain to my fiance and those listening right now. Like, I have to give grace to those who are very transparent and even like have the balls or the audacity to share that, because that's not easy to tell your child that. I don't think that was an easy confession. But was it a real one? Can they now work on their road to healing together? I think so. And that's what I was trying to tell my fiance, who was just beside himself, like, oh my God. And I get it. Like, that's your kid. But I just felt like that was such a moment in that show that a lot of parents, especially our parents who are older, right? I think they could relate hard as hell. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm 31, right? So I'll have a child after the age of 31. Like, my mom was younger. She was 22. Yeah. I can't imagine raising a kid at 22 by myself. Yeah. No help. Like, zero. Like, I can't imagine that. Like, I think it takes a village, you know? And I'm just like, that's crazy that she did that. I still don't know how she did it, but she did it. Yeah. And I think about that all the time. And I'm like, so if my mom told me that based on her position, where she was in life, who was even around, which was nobody, her support system was failing, right? She had nobody. So I'm just like, can I be upset at that? No. Does that mean she loves me any less? I don't think so. Yeah. I just think she's being real. And now we can begin our journey to healing.
And that's important to be real. Like I told my son the other day, because I just took him on like a side job with me, and we had to go do some trimming, you know? Okay. And it's just, I get aggravated with him because I'm thinking that he should just know, like, I already have common sense, kind of, like, because we were born in that era of just knowing or getting into the know, because our
common sense era.
Because people don't have no common sense these days. It's so weird. Like, it's like, and it's frustrating to me, but at the same time, it's kind of like I failed at a parent because I didn't teach him the ways. You know what I'm saying? So I got to read back and re-look on me, reflection on me. Like, how did I teach him to be? You know what I'm saying? So I got to take more accountability. And I told him that the other day. Like, and I'm sorry, Dad. Like, I apologize to him, you know, because I told him, like, I didn't teach you these things for me to just automatically think you know what I'm talking about. Right. When I didn't teach you it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's a lot of parents do that too, because they just go give me this over here and just say, don't even describe it. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, that's how we used to have to go get shit. Like, our parents just go give me that over there, and we'll just go over there and just grab it because we know he's talking about a tool. He's working on something, you know? Yeah. But they'll go over there and just look over there like they don't understand what we're doing. Like they watch us. They're not observing, though, you know? That's kind of weird.
That's a good point.
Like they're not really comprehending what's going on in the world. They're not learning nothing. Observe, because that's how I learn things. Just observing people.
Observing, yeah.
Yeah, like watching people do things. And then my son said, because I didn't graduate high school or nothing. So my son was watching me do all this work, and he's like, dude, you didn't even graduate high school. He's thinking to himself, like, and I'm doing all these things, you know, from photography, from podcasting, to my own clothing line, and just continuing to try things despite what everybody told me that I couldn't be, you know? So it's like, and that's why my friend David here, he's like, dude, you're too humble, you know? I was like, man, because I've been through the world where angry don't get you nowhere. Being somebody trying to persuade yourself to be something you are not, it doesn't get you nowhere. Just being yourself, you're being your soul true self can get you in more places than anywhere else. Just being humble.
I couldn't agree more, because there's people who will do the absolute least, but will act like it's the absolute most.
Yes.
And I'm just like, but like, what the fuck is this? Like,
and I've been around like the nation with the culture and the rap game, so I see it like, and it's just like, it's not interesting to me, and it's like people chase this for what, and it's like, and just to see the inside out, and everybody's just so like the culture of the music takes these kids and the frequencies that it teaches these kids to be, you know, murderers, drug dealers, sexist, you know, all this shit that it's all in these frequency of lyrics. And it's kind of crazy, just and it's okay, you know what I'm saying? But we can't just speak our opinion about things without somebody getting upset.
Yeah.
And that, like the cancel culture and shit, like. But
cancel culture. Oh my God. Listen, I'm here for a good cancel when it's like a wild take or something, and you're like hurting a group of people, or you're just like, I don't know, like on some fucking racist shit, like whatever you want to call it, right? Like, yeah, of course I'm like, okay, like, no, you know. But I think you're right. I think like as humans, we have like so many different opinions and thoughts, right? Experiences. So it's like, if I say something that might be, quote, controversial or whatever, like, is that really a reason to cancel somebody?
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? And then also, too, cancel culture, I've noticed, is mad forgiving, like, at the same time. So, like, what was the outrage for? You know what I mean?
Just some...
Right, like, an artist does something, I'm just giving an example, right? An artist does something, okay, they're canceled, whatever. But, like, either we just forget, I guess time really does heal all, I don't know, like, time passes by, or they do something else, like, drop a song, or they just do something, right? And we just forget. And I'm just like, I don't know. So that's why I'm like, what's the point of that even? What's the point of the outrage?
Yeah. So the relationship with your mom and everything, what got you into radio and just getting away? Is that like a gateway for you? Just like...
So interesting. So one time, me and my friend, shout out to Jordan Foster, he used to work at my station that I'm at. And he and we were smoking one time. And I just had this thought. I don't know where it came from. And I was like, bro, I was like, you know why I think we all do radio? Because I think it's so funny. So the people that I work with, for example, I think we're all so different. We come from like different backgrounds. Like, and I mean like culturally, I think shit, financially, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll be like, we're all from like really different backgrounds. Like, I don't think we all come from the same cloth. I don't. And I was like, but we have one thing in common in this room, right? And I always say this, and I think it's because we didn't feel heard by one or both parents or somebody, right, caregiver, when we were younger. And this is like our way of like being heard. And they all looked at me like, because I told them my coworkers that, and they were like, "You're fucking crazy." Like, what do you, like, I think they weren't high, so they didn't really get it. But I was like, no, like, hear me out. Like, this is my theory. And I was like, and I gotta work on this theory, but I know there's like some meat on the bone here.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I think so, though. Like, I think we wanted to be in some form of like hear me now or something.
My wife's probably like totally agreeing with you right now.
You think so?
Because she says, I love to hear myself talk. Because
right?
I talk so much shit.
Yeah. People love it. Some people just love to hear themselves. And I agree with that, too. 100%. Sometimes I'm like, stop talking, Paulina. That's enough out of you today.
So when did you get into like radio?
Radio? Yeah. So I did radio in college, technically. So I was always very like active in high school. Like I went to Curie High School, so I was very like in everything, right? I just love being in stuff. Like I was at volleyball. I was doing like senior executive stuff. I was doing like I did one of the plays. I don't sing, so they had me not sing. I had to be the Wicked Witch of the West, which was the greatest role ever. But she's the only role that doesn't sing, so my ass was I'm like, I don't sing.
Is that why you started doing witch shit later on?
I think so, right? My witchy side came out, and I was like, yeah, I thought it was so funny though. I'm like, I don't sing, so I did that. After school math, I mean, I did everything, right? So when I went to college, I went to UIC, and I felt like not lost, but I just was like, there's nothing going on in my life besides work and school, right? And I worked at the Chicago Park District while I was in the end of high school and all through college. Best job ever, by the way. So I was like, this is like boring to me. Like, I'm not involved in school stuff. Like, I don't know what to do. I know. So then I went to apply because UIC Radio was hiring bloggers, and I was an English major. So I was like, maybe I'll just do like some, I don't know, whatever, like some form of writing for blogging, right? Because blogging was like kind of like it at that time, 2013, 14. So I was like, let me try this. And then I applied, I got the thing, and then it was a part of the radio station. So I got to like go in there, mess around, kind of just like try things. And I did, and I liked it. And then my last year of college, I was the program director of it. So I ran the station. And it was a fun experience. It was so fun. We went like on a trip. We have like a board. It was 5 board members. We got to go to New York for this like conference for college radio. It was just like a really cool time. So I did that, and that was like where the passion, I think, started. You know what I mean? I love it.
So from the beginning there, like, because you talk about anxiety and depression and stuff, like, when you start hearing yourself on the radio for the first time, did you get like a little self-doubt or reflect about like what other people might think about what you're doing or anything like that? Or you were just like, it didn't bother you, just felt comfortable right away?
Oh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question.
Thank you.
I've never been asked that. I'm like, wow, that's a great question. I think that I started off being really, really confident. And I think most people do, especially when they're like trying this. It's new, it's fun, right? And then I think when I got to, I'm going to say the big leagues, right, of like real radio, I think that's like where I started feeling everything you just mentioned. Like the anxiety, like the self-consciousness, right? Like the depression, whatever it might be. That's kind of where it came in. But in the beginning, you're just so, I'm not going to say naive, but kind of like the world really is your oyster, right? And you're on a college platform with like 2 people listening instead of 2 million people listening. So it's very different. And nobody's criticizing you. Nobody's talking shit to you. You know what I mean? At that time, too, like there wasn't really social media like that. Like what, we were on Facebook maybe? No one's going to write on my Facebook wall to tell me I suck. So I was like, this is cool. This is fun. But then, once you start going into the bigger leagues and just seeing so much too, just like the ins and out of radio.
Just like everything else, right? Everything
else, cutthroat, political, it could be. Some people aren't even that good. And it's like, and why are you here? Not to be a hater, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? But then you meet some really cool people too that really uplift you, really inspire you a lot. So it's very interesting. Yeah, I think in the beginning I was like, Miss fucking confident over here, you know? Like, we're badge of honor. But I think through time, like, you kind of learn and you kind of like, you do get thicker skin. You do like harden up. You have to. But yeah, definitely a lot of those feelings came later.
Yeah. Because when I started, it was in 2020 when we started this. So like, 2019 and 2019. So like, I was like, man, because I was pretty well known too. And I was just like, man, people, and I was scared of the fucking cancel culture. You know, I can't speak about this, and I was worried, like just thinking about, because I didn't want to voice my opinion because the people just around me can relate to it heavier and think I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying?
See what you're saying, yeah.
But I'm not. I'm just addressing like to a topic of what's going on. So it's like, so sometimes until I listen to Joe Rogan episode, and he's like, you know what, man? There's fucking people out here that actually think about what other people think about or their opinions before they even think about speaking their opinion, you know? And it's like, man, you have the right to do that, so just fucking do it. So there's a couple episodes that I thought my wife looked over them. She's like, no, you didn't even talk bad about it. You just addressing the situation. But you know how some cultures will get mad at you just because you said it a certain way or just to be mad at you. It's kind of weird. So that's why at first I dealt with it too in the beginning, like, just, man, should I just do this or not? And then I just continue to do it.
Well, I'm proud of you for sticking with it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Sticking to your true self.
Yeah. That's where it counts. Yeah.
100%.
That's what the whole rebooting phrase that everybody needs to do. Like untrain themselves from what they were programmed to do and reprogram themselves.
Yes.
To what they want to be now in this world, in this life. Because you talk about spirituality. I had like a real big spiritual trip. Like I took an excessive amount of mushrooms.
Okay, I was about to ask you what you think.
And it was It was a crazy experience. It was like, because we're all like, and this is my thesis on it, you know? This is like we're all just like passing light through the universe. We're all just gods of light, you know?
Yeah.
We're all a reflection of somebody's imagination. So, you know?
Do you feel like that also applies to today's culture, in my opinion, of people thinking a lot of times like that main character energy syndrome? Like everyone thinks they're the main character in something, and it's like, it's not even about you.
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
'Cause that makes me think of that.
I don't know where that probably comes. It's just
Like main character, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I've been on this like weird kick of like, why are people always thinking like it's like about them, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but exactly like, but then look at the bigger picture. Like we're this like tiny little
speck of sand. Like we're like bacteria in the universe.
I need a microscope and then some, right? And it's just crazy. But I don't know. I just think about that a lot too. I'm like, main characters, like why do people really think that they are? So hard. But listen, teach their own.
Yeah, to a point where me, my son, and my best friend, right, we're here, and it was like this soul was getting ready to end, and like we were in a different avatar. Like we met already too before in our past lives. Before.
Oh, I believe that.
You know, so we're just reuniting again in this life. So
yeah.
And then like there's a lesson for us to getting reunited, you know, to next either advances to that next frequency of level, you know, to enlighten one another to a next level of and frequencies, you know. So like it's me and my son and my best friend experienced that. So we've been doing this for thousands of years. That's what it came to, that trip. We've been coming to do this, and it always comes to this point where I take a certain amount of shrooms to get back to realizing who I am. So for the first 38 years of this planet, I was walking like blind until my soul and my physical self finally came back together when I was in that trip, like finally fusing as one. Because my spirit's been wandering the world, the universe for 38 years, but my physical self has been here. And now I realize who I am today and what I'm supposed to do. So that's why I think this podcast is the most important thing, because I can conversate with people and get to touch and help them in a way, you know? Absolutely. Just opening up doors and having questions that people don't ask them, or just being here to listen to somebody, you know?
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that you said that, because I probably won't do it in my lifetime, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to, for that purpose of finding, I'm not going to say find myself, but finding that peace, or like bringing something back together. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm scared of having a bad trip. Like, I have a friend who had one, and that could be, you know, his own reason or whatever. But like, I think too, they say supposedly, tell me if I'm wrong, you're supposed to be in a really, really good mindset when you do that. You are. Yeah. And can I ask why? What would happen if?
Well, because you know, people deal with other issues throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're dealing with mental issues already, like anxiety, mental depression.
Gotcha.
You don't want to start taking it. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of be in a good level of, but that comes with training your subconscious too, your thought. Like,
right.
Every thought process that you think of, you're in control of that from the beginning. Like, that's not just some voice in the head. That's your thought, you know? And people got to learn to understand to reprogram that thought process. And I'm reprogramming myself now, going through it, because I just found out about all this knowledge probably like when I was 35.
Really?
So I'm just building this spirituality is getting bigger and bigger. So, you know what I'm saying? My frequencies are meeting new people. And like yesterday, I had a conversation with a gentleman that I thought maybe it wouldn't even go nowhere, you know, but it turned out to be that we needed to have that conversation because he was a hurt soul just like me. And we came across, and I felt that. That's why we had that conversation yesterday, because we needed to meet, because he needed to know that he wasn't alone. You know what I'm saying?
That's really deep.
And that's why everybody that walks through my door is a purpose. Wow. There's a reason why we meet.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Is there something that you would, like, I'm curious, like that you would, today you would tell your younger self you? Because I feel like, I don't know you from back in the day, but I feel like you were probably different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I would tell myself to be more patient.
Okay.
Be more patient and learn how to control your anger.
Woo.
Because that's the most important thing. And stay busy, you know, because I got my son and my little cousins now working out to try to keep their mind busy, you know. Stay fit. You get your body fit. You get your mind fit, you know.
That connection
So now ever since that spiritual trip, me and my son has been a lot closer. So it's been a real good thing. So we made a bond that day too. It was pretty good.
I love this for you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
No, I really do.
That's why I said like everybody needs to reprogram themselves and really looking and solely into themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And shrooms, I've been doing it since I was 18. Recreational when I was 18. For the last 4 years, I've been kind of doing it like spiritually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I never took that much before, ever. It was kind of a lot. I recreational use maybe an eighth or 7, you know, once in a while. But,
Okay.
But this was more than that. So it took me to a place where I needed to go, and it brought me back here, you know? So it's like, and ever since then, it's been cool. I still battle some demons. And you talked about that, too, about people with their demons, you know?
Man, I dance with mine.
And, yeah, and Andrew Tate, I listened to a video about Andrew Tate, and he talked about how everybody wants me to go see a therapist or something when they're my demons, and all they're going to do is just prescribe a Valium or something to mask the demons, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of people assuming like that it would just be some form of like medication and that's gonna like solve your problems, because it's not. I mean, I'm not bashing it. I think some people do need it and they rely on it and it really helps them be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
I would never bash that. Just I know myself, and for me that never really like worked or like would work. Also, Andrew Tate has a lot of other demons that he needs to face, like jail. Like, I'm going to be honest, but...
Yeah,
but
I know.
I
just like the way he used it for
that.
The demons that he has. He uses them to
like
keep himself in line. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Like they're there to let him know he's fucking up. So he needs he looks at it a different perspective.
That is actually really interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Huh. So you would look at it as like, when I'm facing my demons, that means... things aren't
going right the way I'm supposed to be handling things. That's why the demons are on my ass.
Interesting. I guess that's a good way to look at it.
That's why you got to look at things in 2 perspectives.
Oh my God, I'm fucking mind blown right now. No, that's a really good point, because everyone assumes that it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're demons. But that's really interesting.
Yeah, because you could be you fall into that laziness, you know, and they come to fuck with you more when you're in dark places or in limbo, you know. They're just trying to get you active. Trying to get you out this way. You don't want to be here, right? This is what it's going to be. Get your ass up and get back to it.
That is crazy, and that's wild. Is that what gets you back on track?
Sometimes, yeah. It's sometimes I still get in that slump. Like I said, I'm reprogramming myself too, and I'm programming what owed me, and I get to that slump. And my wife, she's real patient with me, and I'm grateful for that. You know, because I owe her a lot for where I'm at.
I love that you said that. There is nothing more to me beautiful in life than a partnership where you just make yourself the better version of you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you'd agree with this. Like, she didn't come. I mean, I obviously don't know your relationship, but like, she didn't come into it, I'm assuming, trying to change you. She came in trying to better you, because you have to, make those changes on your own, whatever that might be.
100%.
Nobody can come in and ever change you, whether it's a therapist, a partner, whatever. Like, that starts with you and where you're at.
And a lot of patience with me.
A lot of patience.
Yeah.
I love that you are so self-aware, though. I swear, some men, I always say the straight men, they don't ever like hold accountability. I swear to God. And I'm not a man basher, hater, nothing. I love y'all.
She's a Tom Likas touch.
No. I just.
You know who Tom Likas is?
No, who is that? I'm scared.
Don't let your husband listen to him, because he probably won't marry you.
Oh no, is he one of those?
Yeah, he doesn't approve of marriage. That's all. He said it's okay to be together, but he just doesn't approve of marriage. It doesn't work for the man. That's all.
It doesn't work for the man.
Everything's in favor for the woman.
Favor for the woman.
Yeah,
that's so interesting.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. Because no matter
why?
No, because he breaks it down. He just talks about. Now we're going to get into this. He breaks it down because he says, he sees it 1,000 times in that culture in the West Coast. You know, that's all he sees of women getting together, and then, like, for instance, say if my wife had like 2 kids before we got together, you know, and when we were together or married, this is just hypothetically talking here, Tuts, all right?
Okay. Yeah. This is fake, everybody, just so we know. Don't cancel us.
And then she had 2 kids, and then I came in and I told her I'll take care of her and the kids and whatever. We got married.
Okay.
So she could literally, since I took on that obligation of her and the kids, so I can now get hit for child support and pay alimony for those kids, even though they're not biologically mine.
You can?
Yeah, you could, yeah. It's been done.
I'm sure. I just never heard that in my life.
Yeah, it's been done.
Interesting.
That's what he just brings awareness. He said he doesn't mind the love and that. All it is a piece of paper, you know. That's what he says. I joke with my wife. If I would have found this guy, you know, I would never married you. She's like, shut up. He's just a woman hater or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's some women that agree with him, and because there's some women out there that just do that, you know, just take advantage.
Yes.
There's
absolutely
not all women. But there's women out there that take advantage.
Facts. I'm a girl's girl through and through, but I know my ladies, and there are women who will do that. You know what I'm saying?
Single ladies. I'm a single.
Yes, the single ladies, they will do that. You know,
100%.
And I know some women will, and I think men take advantage as well. But I think that's really, really interesting for a lot of reasons. I always said that men benefit the most from marriage. So I'm pro marriage. I'm getting married in 2 weeks. I'm pro marriage. I just don't think it's for everybody, and I really don't.
Yeah.
I think what works for you works for you. I used to be one of those people that's like, you gotta get married. Everyone needs to be married. Like, girl, relax. I used to think like that. You know what I mean? And now I'm just like, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm at this big age of 31, and I'm like, that's not the case. And I like do what works for you. You know what I mean? Like, I told my fiance, and I was very real with him. Like, I was like, we could have waited. It was me kind of pushing it in the beginning because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And I've told him this. Yeah. And I was like, we could have absolutely waited. Like, you're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Like, I'm very happy with you. And he's like, I feel married to you. Like, I'm being real. And like, I get the whole like.
Yeah, once you move in, I mean, once you're living together, you're practically married.
We're married. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like we are. And I'm like, I feel like when we come back from Vegas in 2 weeks, like, I don't know if I'm going to come back feeling different. Like, I mean, we just had a big party. Like, I just don't feel like different. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that to, like, bash on marriage. I just, for me, I know, like, I could have waited. And, like, my fiance and I, we have, like, these, like, dumbass jokes in our relationship, kind of like how you guys have. And, like, and I love it, though, because, like, that's me. That's the banter that I love. And I'll always fuck around and I'll say, oh, yeah, you know, whatever, like, I'm not going to marry him. And then he'll be like, oh, you know, you're my first marriage, not my last, you know, shit like that. And I just, like, start cracking up. And I'm like, because there might be some truth in that. But, like, at the same time, I'm just like, I know, like you're, you know what I mean? Like, you're my person and I'm yours. And, I mean, we're not God. We can't predict what's going to happen. We can't control what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, we can only control our own actions and ourselves and our relationship. But I want to be with this man, you know what I mean? But it's just like crazy because I've told him, I'm like, I could have waited. Like, I don't know where. I was on Instagram too much or TikTok or something, but I was just like, not rushing him, but I was pulling that, like, you know, like, not like when you get a proposed card, but kind of in the sense of like, you know, like, we've been together for 2 years, you know, shit like that. And it's like, I wish I never did. He doesn't resent me or anything like that. Like, I know he doesn't because I could tell when a man is not trying to walk down that aisle, but like, he's not like that. Like, he's very much so like, let's just do this. Like, you wanted this Vegas party, you wanted this, and I did. I wanted it, and I'm so happy we're doing it. But like I said, I know I could have waited. Like, and he tells me that too. He's like, we could have, and I said we absolutely could have. You know, and I'm sorry for kind of pushing that on you, you know, whatever. But I want to get to my point about how it benefits men more than women, and that's so interesting. I want to listen to that guy because I want to see what he says. I'm curious.
And some of the women that call in are actually the ones that cheat on the guy, and they're wondering why he hasn't proposed yet. Oh my God! So these are the guys he goes. These are the girls that he goes in, and it's like, the wonder why I wouldn't marry you either, you know, because you done cheated on me, you know. Like, why would I give you a ring? Like, because he also talks about the biological clock ticking, and they got to have kids before they get in a certain age because they already partied their whole life before this, you know. So
I'm gonna keep partying.
And
that's not gonna stop.
So he keeps breaking it down. So he just breaks it down on why the women out there just want to settle down at a certain age when he doesn't want to. He's already lived this to this age. Why would he want to settle down now? You know.
I just think he hasn't found the person that he would want to settle down with. I think that's just the hottest take.
And he's been divorced like 4 times too. So I don't know why he keeps getting married himself.
Yeah, it's like, why are you? I never got that. It's like, okay, at that point, if we're in my 4th marriage, there wouldn't be a 4th marriage for me. But if there was, we're just hanging out after this. Like, we're just gonna hang. Like, we're not doing
this the whole thing.
No, we're not doing this whole song and dance again.
That'd be crazy to get married 4 times
and then just keep going. At this point, like, marriage maybe really isn't for you. So just exist. Like, just exist together. No? Am I the only one who thinks that?
Who's got married
4 times?
J-Lo?
No. Engaged.
She only got married to Mark Anthony, right?
And her first husband was like really young. She was really young. Yeah, like the dancer.
Damn, she's probably got like she probably got like 50 million in engagement rings.
Oh yeah, I think I saw an article with all her engagement rings because she didn't get married every single time.
Yeah, I know.
There was a couple. Yeah, Quite a list.
A-Rod, fucking Ben Affleck.
A-Rod, I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Damn. She's got to be like the richest woman just with rings. Like,
that is crazy. How many? 7? Shut up.
Who said had 7 husbands? J-Lo? I told you.
7?
That's got to be the world record.
That is like insane. That's a record. But also, like, at this point, like, can't we just exist? Like,
Yeah, I
why
know.
are you
Yeah,
doing this again?
yeah.
But listen, like, again, I'm trying not to judge, give grace where I can. That's not my life. But I do think that marriage benefits, I just put men and benefits together, benefits men more. And I say this to my fiance, and he laughs in my face because I don't do half these things. But, okay, think about it.
Okay.
Think about it. Okay? And I'm not, like, calling anybody out.
No,
I'm
you're
going to
good.
use it as an example.
This is your opinion.
Okay, this is my opinion. But I don't know your dynamic
Yeah,
at
yeah,
home.
you're good.
I don't live with you guys. But if I did, this is what I would say. Okay? So hear me out. You benefit from your wife more than she benefits from you. And I say that, and I don't know your situations at home, okay? But I'm just going to give a broad example.
You covered that.
Okay. I know. I just want to be clear if I get canceled. So think about it, right? She's a, quote, in-home maid. So she cooks, she cleans for the most part. I don't know what you guys do, but cooks and
Pretty
cleans,
much.
takes care of the kids probably more than you do.
Oh, 100%.
For the most part, okay? And I love that you own that because some men are weirdos and they don't want to own that. It's yeah. They're like, no, give her flowers. I love it. So cooking, cleaning, right? Laundry, like even as things like travel, when you guys travel, I'm sure she's packing your bags or at least making sure the
100%.
kids are packed up.
Yeah.
You're not packing the kids' bags.
No,
she is. So think about that, right? And then again, like I'm not trying to be invasive, but like like
That's
sex,
it. No,
kind of
you're
like when you
valid
want,
points.
you know what I mean? Because like you have your partner, so it's like
Yeah.
sex, like that's your intimacy level, whatever. So all these things that I'm naming, right? Who benefits? Tell me, is the man benefiting or is the woman? Because you just got free laundry service, free chef at home, free cooking service, meal prep. You got, a nanny / caretaker for your kids. You know what I mean? Let's just say you're a man with kids.
Yeah.
And then, you don't got to go out to the club and pick up girls and do all that work. Like, you got a girl at home. You know what I mean? So it's like, these are, in my opinion, the woman benefits so much. The man benefits so much more than the woman. Like, if we're being fucking real. Like, you know what I mean? So
is that what you're looking forward to?
What, doing all that? No, because I don't. So that's why he laughs at me like, and where do I find that? He's like, where do I find that? And I'm like, I cook sometimes. I know, I'm terrible. But like, and he's not wrong. I get it. Because like, I'm not a good example of that. You know what I mean? But I'm working on it, because we have a home and I want to take care of it. I'm just not the cleaning, cooking kind of girl. I know at the end of the day, like, I'm not a pig either, so I need to make sure that, like, our home is decent. I'm not saying I'm Susie Homemaker, but I need to, like, make time to clean the house, a.k.a. literally today I'm cleaning.
You put the Mexican music on?
I do, yeah. Or I'll have the music on, or, like, a housewives show, or just something in the background.
Or you do the polka?
No, I don't do the polka. It's so funny because I don't even think I know, like, how to. I think, like, how to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the polka.
The genre is just called polka, right?
Yes, technically.
Okay,
technically, yes.
okay.
But you know what's funny is that it's the same sound if you think about it. It's the accordion.
Okay.
If, like, compare the two
fucking
at home.
to like mariachi band?
It's like a banda, but a Polish one.
Oh.
You know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
kind of sound similar,
Yeah,
right?
because I think the main ingredient, the main
the accordion.
Musical instrument is the accordion, I think. And then there's like other ones like drums or whatever you want to use. The I don't know how to call it, cymbal, whatever. I'm not a musician, as you can tell. I don't even know how to name instruments. But it's very similar. But the accordion, I think, is the number one, similar sounding to those two genres. You know what I mean? Which is really interesting. I think I'm like, oh, look at us.
Oh, from that perspective too, the man's just supposed to just work his fingers and his back to the ground.
And then the argument is like, okay, the man is the provider or whatever, and it's like, it's so interesting, right? Because I think about that too. The man's a provider, and I feel like I don't feel like it should be, in my opinion, the man's job to like literally provide for the family at all costs, even though that is what most women / whoever will tell you. You know what I mean? And I know historically, culturally, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I just feel like if there's a way that you guys can both somehow contribute, I'm a fan of that. I told my fiance this, like, and I don't know. I mean, he's very like, I don't know what to call him, modern. Like he's at my level as far as like understanding, like, where I'm at and what I want to do. But I told him, I was like, I'm never gonna stay home. Like I have so much respect for stay-at-home mothers, stay-at-home wives. that really just maintain and take care of the household, the kids, you know what I mean? Like, that's their main responsibility. That is not Paulina. And I was like, I love you so much, and I'm going to love our child so much.
Yeah.
But like, I need to get the fuck out of this house. Like, I'm telling you right now, like make sure you're picking the right one, because that's not going to be me. I have a friend, a really good, my best friend's stay-at-home mom, right? And I have so much respect for her, and I watch her do this.
Yeah.
And I've told her this, so this isn't shade, but I'm like, I can't do that. Like, that's not me. You know what I mean? And I think some women were just so programmed that way, which is why I do think, like, in a way, like, yeah, as a woman, I want to contribute to my household, whether that is paying the fucking ComEd bill, the cable bill, whatever bill, you know what I mean? But maybe I'm old school too, because I do think that my fiance is our, quote, protector and provider. The man is, or whoever, right? If you're heterosexual, homosexual, whatever relationship that you're in, like, I do think the household functions better, though, when there are, like, split roles, in the sense of, like, kids are you, whatever, you know what I mean? Pay the ComEd bill, whatever, right? But listen, some women do want to stay at home with the kids, and I love and respect that, you know what I mean? Because that just makes it, I think, so much more special for the kids. I do. Which makes me sad for my kids, because my kid's not going to get that. But I say this now, I could change my mind, of course, you know what I mean? But, like, I just see it as, like, I love my passions, you know, obviously I do radio, I do podcasting too. I love this. I can't see myself giving it up. It's just going to be more difficult when that day comes, but I'm going to make it work.
It becomes a lot challenging.
It's a challenge.
She makes it work, though. She does amazing things, you know?
Yep.
Shout out to my wife.
I know. I'm looking at her. See? And I feel like you would agree. Like, she makes this possible.
Yeah. She makes a lot of it possible, you know? And then me trying to just fucking be everywhere at once is kind of crazy, too. So it's like, we've got better, too, you know? And it's just me, too, expecting for her just to know, too, because she's just, like, getting into it now, like, really helping more and more with the organization, the calendar, you know? And I tell her if she could do that for me and I could just do everything else, because that's, like, the weakest point for me is organization. I just kind of wing shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I just show up. I don't know. You need me, all right, you know? Like,
I'll be there. What time? Okay, I'll just be there. And the next thing you know, I got, like, 3 bookings. Like, oh,
yeah, I'm
shit.
like, fuck. I'm a queen of doing that. I'll overbook myself all day.
And it's like, what the fuck? And I told her I just need some help with this. If I can get this down pack, I'll be good. Like, try to figure out everything, because it's like the podcast and then the photography thing, and then trying to run a business and then doing editing too. It's like all in one, you know. And then going to work full time. I just got laid off Tuesday, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise, though.
Sorry, but
no, it's fine.
It is.
For sure. It happens every so often. So it's just like you go on collect unemployment real quick for a couple of weeks. I work for the union, so it happens. It happens, or the job ends a couple of weeks before another one starts. But
Gotcha.
So just moving forward. Yeah, she does a lot, man. I appreciate her.
And I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Because you're recognizing kind of like the backbone, you know, of who you are, what you do, right? Your family dynamic.
Yeah.
She helps out, obviously, you know, at home and then with your stuff.
So getting into radio, getting back on subject.
I know, right? I'm not married.
It happens. So getting to where you're at now, how did you get to, where were the steps to getting to where you're at now?
So I have like the weirdest story ever, but basically I did the college radio thing, right? Then I graduated and I interned at my current competitor station. So like I kind of got the feel of the radio life, all these things, right? And it's just so funny how you said everything happens for a reason, because it sure does.
Yeah.
And I was with another intern, and I'm still friends with her, but she's no longer in radio because it just didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that time, you know when you think you want something so bad and it doesn't happen for you, and then you realize like years later why it didn't happen, and it was supposed to happen that way, and it was actually a blessing it didn't happen for you. You're like, oh fuck, like that's actually a good thing. So she got the job or whatever, and I was really upset, I remember, because I was like, between the two of us, she got this job on this morning show, right? And I was just so sad, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? It's all good. She's going to do her thing, and I'm going to do mine. So then I moved to New York for a summer, just for fun. My friend lived out there. I love New York, but I couldn't live there. I need my car. I like driving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not for me. So then I went back home here, and then after that, I went to California. And it was weird because manifestation, I always said as a little girl, I'm going to live in California, Hollywood one day, just to live. I didn't really have shit going on there, but I went out there with like my little car. My friend came with me. I had like no money, but I just was like, we're gonna make this happen. Something that I would never do now, but I did then because I just was a different thinker, and I was like, I had nothing to lose. So ambitious. I had nothing to lose. Literally. Yeah. So then I went out there, and then I was applying for jobs and stuff, and I had like I got an apartment with a bunch of like 4 other girls. It was actually really cute, and they were fucking amazing. So I got lucky with that. And then I was like, I'm applying for jobs, but like no one's calling me, right? Because I had like this mentor that I met through, I think it was like a program in college, and she does television. So I thought I would be doing television production, like behind the scenes, being a producer on a TV show. Because she just kept talking, as that was her path, right? She's from Chicago too, and now lives in California. And she worked on like a bunch of different shows that were really popping, like Survivor and like all those Biggest Loser. I think Mark Burnett's the big producer behind it. She worked for him. And she was like, she just like killed it, you know? So she's working for him for like 25 years. Yeah. And I was like, maybe that's my path, right? So I'm applying to these like TV jobs. I'm like not getting called. I have no experience too, mind you. And then I applied for radio, and I got called for an interview, and I got the job. So it was a promotions assistant at iHeart in Los Angeles. Oh, okay. So promotions assistants are like, started from the bottom, now we're here, people. You kind of just work your way up. You do all the promo stuff. So like events and like pop-ups and stuff, like you're the person setting up, passing out flyers, passing out
doing all the
toys, all the footwork, or not toys, like little gifts, whatever, the free stuff, driving the vans around, like that's you. So I started there, was loving it, and then getting a lot of experience meeting everybody in the building, which was my thing of like getting in the building. Yeah. Then I met this radio personality who used to be on Kiss FM and WGCI here. Her name is Nina Chantel. Okay. So I went with her because I like knew she worked there. So I introduced myself like a weirdo in the bathroom. And I was like, oh, I'm Paulina. I was like, we met like years ago. I know I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm so weird. I was like,
you couldn't wait outside the door of the bathroom?
I was in the bathroom. Like, we were at the sink together. And I was like, oh, I used to work in Chicago. I met you at this conference. It was like I saw her speak somewhere. And I was like, years ago, and I was like, I'd love to like learn from you or like kind of help you out. And she took that offer. So I started going in and learning how to like do the on-air stuff, like the producing, right? How to even work the board, how you have like a board here, right? Like how to work that, how to blog, how to answer phones for winners. It's a lot, you know? Yeah. And I was learning it on my own time, free time. I was just getting in there whenever I can. If it was 2 a.m, I'd go in. Like I didn't care. So then, like, that was me. I was loving it, and I was really having a good time with it. But then I was like, damn, like, I miss home. And it's interesting when you tell the universe something, because this happened to me, right? I got into a really, really bad car accident, and my shit was totaled. So I was like, this, like, isn't good for me and my car being totaled, one. But number 2, like, I need a car in LA, and I still got to pay this one off. I don't have any money for this. It's not going to work. So, and I had said I missed home, so that made me miss home even more. Yeah. So then I was like, but I don't want to like be like jobless. So then I contacted iHeart Chicago, and I was like, I just need my foot in the building. I do not care. So I ended up applying for whatever was open, which was like a sales assistant position. I'm like, let me just get in the building. Again, get in. And I got the job. So I came back home, which was amazing. I was so happy to be home. Yeah. And I got the job. And my first day, I went downstairs, because we have 2 floors, so we had, not anymore. I had 2 floors. I went downstairs, and I talked to all the program directors of every station, introduced myself. Oh, I'm from Chicago, but I worked in LA for 2 years. I know how to do your social. I know how to do blogging. I would love to help. Just let me know how I can. Yeah. And it was like crazy how it happened, because in LA, like there's like different protocol, if you will, like to work on like a morning show. You don't just like walk into a morning show. Yeah. So I was like thinking, if anything, they would do the same thing they did in LA, which was maybe like team me up with like the part-time weekend people. Just like learn, you know, here, get in here, learn, whatever. So about 2 weeks of me emailing the program director at that time back and forth, right? Kind of keeping in touch, making sure he knows I'm very serious. Yeah. He's like, oh, I had this idea, come to my office. So then I did. And he's like, I'm thinking of adding you to the morning show. And I was like, sir, what the fuck? I was like, the morning show? Like, this just doesn't happen.
So did you do drops for him or anything like that? Or like
like a demo reel? Yeah. No, which was weird, too. Like, he didn't even hear me. So he was just like, I want to try you on the morning show. And he's like, but he phrased it as like an experiment, too, which was interesting. And he said, I want you to meet Fred and Angie. They're the morning show. Their producers, MJ. It was just Fred and Angie on the air. MJ didn't really talk as much anymore. So he was like, I want you to meet them first. Let's go from there. So I met Fred first, then Fred and Angie and MJ together. And I brought a little notebook in of like some ideas I had because I don't know. I was I mean, I gotta come prepared and be like, I'm offering something, not just my mouth. Like I'm just trying to talk to you guys, but I want to show you what else I can do. So then they brought me in. I didn't go on the air. I mean, I did go on the air, like they would have me talk, but it was more so of like being called in. So it was a very different role than I have now. So it was like whole different room. There's a wall. There's not a wall, like a glass wall, if you will, so I can see them. So like it'd be like being called in, or I would start contributing topics. I was the 24-year-old single girl. So I had a whole different perspective, whole different everything, ideas and stories and what I did last night. You know what I mean? Like I was making myself valuable to them and offering my stories. And I wasn't shy. I would still tell any story. So I was like, here, like, you know what I mean? So then they were like, okay, like, you know, this is great. They're loving it. I was adding on to their social media. I was blogging for them. So I was doing everything. And then, that experiment is still happening today. But today it's different because now there's more people on the show and everybody has an open microphone like this. So you can speak when you want, chime in. Everybody has the same kind of like, which I think is really cool, an equal opportunity to submit ideas or topics is what we call them, right? So like stories. And it's like kind of like, well, the best shit gets put on the air, you know?
So do you guys pre-record or you guys go live?
We go live.
Do you?
Every day.
Are you guys like a couple seconds ahead or anything?
I think we're like 30 seconds ahead or something, technically. I mean, you have to be.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Just,
but it is really cool, and I love it.
Every day at 5 to 10, right?
5 to 10 a.m., so I'm up very early.
Have you always been a morning person?
I have, but not that early.
No? That's
not
just like the worst,
4
right?
4 a.m., no, or 3:30.
I hate fucking waking up at 4:30 to go to work. It's just like, man, I'd just leave right on time, though.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I got 15 minutes more.
Yeah, it really hurts.
Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. And
this was so cool. You're right. It was a conversation.
Yeah, it was just nothing more. I appreciate it more. I don't want to keep you any longer.
No, you're totally fine. You guys watching the Bears game today?
Yeah,
he's like, I'm trying to go. What time is the game? Is it on now?
It's already on. Yeah. So this is like the first time. So thanks to Paulina.
Thank you for having me. And keep in touch, I guess.
Yeah. Did you have any inspirational words? Oh, talk about real quick before you get out, your mental program that you still got going on.
Yes. So Get Your Mind Right, the mental health initiative. That one is out. It's out, but it is. Follow us on Instagram, Get Your Mind Right. And basically, we provide mental health services to the south side of Chicago. So we are in Pilsen. So any kind of resources that you need, there are, I think, still room to get with therapists, but I know we got kind of full. But always contact me at Paulina Roe or Get Your Mind Right for more information.
Yeah, make sure you tap in with Paulina. I appreciate you coming in. This is co-host from The Fred Show on 103.5. 5 to 10 in the morning. You can check her out. Make sure you tap in to Get Your Mind Right. Also entitled her podcast that she also has out there.
Yes.
This is Cardi B again to take us out, man. Get Up 10. This is your boy Jay Banner from Cushion Coffee Podcast. We're out. Appreciate you. Go Bears.
Look, they gave a bitch 2 options, stripping or lose. Used to dance in a club right across from my school. I said dance, nah, fuck, don't get it confused. Had to set the record straight cause bitches love to assume. Mama couldn't give it to me, had to get it in Sue's. Lord only knows how I got it in shoes. I was covered in dollars, now I'm dripping in jewels. A bitch play with my money, might as well spit in my food. Bitches hating my guts, now they swear we was cool. Went from making tuna sandwiches to making the news. I started speaking my mind and tripping my views. Real bitch, only thing fake is the boobs. Get money, go hard, motherfucking right. Never been a fraud in my motherfucking life. Get money, go hard, damn fucking right. Stun on these bitches out of motherfucking spite. Ain't no running up on me, went for nothing to glory. I ain't telling y'all to do it, I'm just telling my story. I don't hang with these bitches cause these bitches be corny. And I got enough bras, y'all ain't gotta support me. I went from rag to riches, went from wig to lit, nigga. Only person in my fam to see 6 figures. The pressure on your shoulders, feel like boulders. Where you gotta make sure that everybody's straight. Bitches stab you in your back while they smiling in your face. Talking crazy on your name, trying not to catch a case. I waited my whole life just to shit on niggas. Climb to the top floor so I could spit on niggas. Said I was just trying to chill and make bangers. Tell all these old bitches they ain't